Yep, and it all begins here. Hey, welcome to another episode of Legion Elite Motorsports. I'm your host, Isaiah, and today we're going to get in some work on the silver Starion. Let's get to it. So we're going to start with the stuff up top, then we will go down low. So first thing I'm going to take loose is the oil feed line, the downpipe, the intake, the feed to the intercooler, and the return line. So let me get cracking at that and we will be back. Okay, we got so far the intake off, and you see it's wearing into the pipe. I might have to move that somewhere else, but also I upgraded my relays to the fan. Those are 80 amps a piece, so there won't be any issues there. I'm gonna change the oil on here because it is definitely past due. Turbo's looking healthy. A little dirty, but definitely healthy. No oil coming out the face or anything like that. We got the feed line off. We got the downpipe off, which have a stud on the bottom that keeps it in place. We got these bolts off, so it is very close to removing the turbo setup. And next I have to loosen this up and pull this boot off and disconnect the vacuum for the wastegate. These are hand tight, so I could take all of those loose by hand and the turbo should be off. All right, and just like that, which I gotta be honest, is very easy and simple to take off the turbo manifold this way as opposed to, you know, the standard way where you don't have room to touch anything and all of that. But anyway, so loosened up the return line, which is a solid piece, which is great when it's near the manifold. So that's that. So I definitely do not recommend, and of course this varies depending on turbo, but I do not recommend using a eBay return line. It's fake, it will melt. This is actually real. It is real braids. If you were to cut this and look inside, you could see, you know, it's no plastic tube inside that melts and catches fire and all of that. But anyway, so this is out. You can see I got a good seal there on the rear housing with that ring. I got a semi-good seal on this one. But, and then as you can see, the manifold bolts are easy to get to. And this is what I want to duplicate for you guys. Definitely recommend to have the ABS delete. Unless you have the air conditioning line deleted, then you don't have to worry about it. But I made this AC friendly, so, you know, just keeping that in mind. But anyway, this manifold, it looks like crap. Granted, it's function over, you know, beauty, of course. But this manifold was made a long time ago. This was the first manifold I've ever put together. And, you know, again, I told you guys, this one was built with high quality material, but with a garbage welder. This was a MIG welder with no gas, so that was flux core wire. And yeah, it was just horrible, to say the least. But it stood the test of time. We're talking years of, you know, constant boosting and enjoyment, and it hasn't given me any major problems, so I'd count that as a win in my book. But anyway, so the downpipe is off, and next we're gonna take these screws off, and yep, then we'll be done here. So that came out pretty good. All right, so now all the bolts are loose, and I could take this off. You know, just like I said, everything's very easy to get to. So if we just slide this off. So this last one back here, I would say is the toughest one to get to, and it's because of this nugget right here below the stud, which makes it hard to get a gear wrench or anything like that on there. So that's, you know, that would probably take you the longest. But moving on, let me check out this gasket. Look at that. Perfect seal all the way through and through. Let's check out the back. Yep, perfect seal on every single one of them. So those who shame the Felpro gasket, shame on you. But that multi-layer gasket, your surface on here would have to be damn near machined perfect in order for that multi-layer gasket to seal properly. So if you purchase a new head, you could definitely multi-layer all day. But I did not, so this one caters to each individual runner, which is a plus. You know, these cars are 30-plus-year-old, and those who don't have new head money, this is where you go. So anyway, let's put this aside. That is reusable. Let's take this manifold out. There we go. Let's check this out for a second. Excuse my slides. I'm trying to be comfortable. All right. So, I probably have to get this surface redone and everything, but if you look, even though this was poorly welded and everything, you see the actual materials are high quality. It comes to a bullet point and everything, and that's exactly what you want. So each pulse has equal amount of room, and it works out perfectly. So anyway, so this is out, that's done. Next, what I have to do is I have to pull out my fuel rail, because on the rear back here, it slow drips fuel. So for a whole host of reasons, that's definitely not a good thing. So we're gonna address that and keep moving this way, I would assume. But yeah, so we're gonna knock that out next. We're gonna unplug the injectors. I already know what each and every one is. And then we are going to undo the rail. I'm gonna undo the front half, and then I'm gonna reseal the back half. All right, and here are the beasts. Look at that, huh? That's just the inlet. These are rated at 1700 cc's at 43 psi. And then at 53 psi, they are rated at 2000 cc's. So, fuel will never be an issue, at least not anytime soon. Also, these are 150 pound injectors, so you know, I could throw as much psi at it as I want. Also, they're E85 compatible, and race fuel also. So I'm pretty good with these. These will be working great. So we got those aside. We got the fuel rail disassembled for the most part. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to slide this rail out here, and I'm going to tighten up the fitting in the rear with some new Teflon tape. So we're gonna stay tuned for that. Let's see if I can slide this out, because I didn't disconnect the rear, so that's still connected, but will not be an issue. So yeah, I'm gonna slide this out, and we're gonna examine it, make sure everything is nice and tight, and we'll take it from there. Okay, and we got the fuel rail out. Alright, so if you look inside here, you can see they're angled instead of being straight. See that? And also, this part here is shaved out to clear this hose here. So that's like one of the sort of mandatory things you got to do. So what I'm gonna do is, this side was the side that was leaking. I seen it dripping fuel. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark where this piece was aimed, and I'm going to tighten everything up here. The opposite side was perfect, so we're gonna leave that alone. But this side needed work, so I'm going to tighten this up, and also tighten these up too. Those are around hand tight, I would say, a little bit more. But yes, definitely going to spruce everything up, put it back on, and move on to the next thing. So let's get this put together. Okay, so I already found the problem. So this piece is missing Teflon tape. When you put it inside, it actually jiggles a little bit. So that's enough to cause a drip and sometimes even a spray. So we're gonna slap some Teflon tape onto this, and we should be good to go. We're gonna tighten it back up and take it from there. All right, so everything is tight. I put some Teflon tape on this one and tightened her down pretty good, and she is good to go. So we're going to put this back in the car, put the injectors and everything back on it, and we're gonna test fuel pressure. All right, stay tuned. All right, so everything is connected as far as fuel. I didn't plug in the injectors. I will do that in a second. I want to make sure that there are no leaks, and then we will take it from there. So I'm going to connect the battery, put it on a nice slow charge, make sure everything is on point. All right. Now we're gonna put it in the on position, and hopefully everything will be perfect. So let's see. All right, everything seemed fine. Gonna get under the hood, see if we can get a shot. I don't smell any fuel. I don't hear anything leaking. All right, so we're gonna place the camera here, and you guys get a up close and personal shot. Well, that looked great. All right, so now we're gonna do one more time. And we're gonna do, let's see if I can get it there. Right there. That was our big problem area. All right, here we go. Excellent, not a drop. So that was a huge success, and now we're gonna plug in the injectors and this part will be done. All right, let's see what my fuel pressure's at before we move on to the next thing. All the way at 60. Perfect. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We are going to dive back into some more goodness next episode. And we're also going to take down the transmission and do all of that fun stuff. But in the meantime, this week I became a dad, so I'm enjoying that. And yeah, we'll be able to get more work done.